How's it going? My name is Sherrod Seward, and I'm a sports immigration attorney at Sherrod Sports Visas, a part of the innovative immigration law brand. And today we're highlighting yet another success story in poker visas for P-1. P-1 visas are the most appropriate visa for athletes that are coming to the United States to compete and receive money. For example, if you are a NBA player, you get a P-1. If you are a NFL player and you're international, you get a P-1. Also, if you're a professional sports gamer, you get a P-1. And if you are a poker player, you can, of course, obtain a P-1 as well. In the past, we've highlighted some other success stories that we had, including our first poker approval for P-1, to which the person was ranked 147,000 in the world. So even being that high back in the rankings, you can still be eligible for a P-1 visa as a poker player. A lot of times where a P-1 becomes applicable or something that a poker player wants to do is when they are in a country or from a country that is hard to get to the United States. It is appropriate to come and compete in poker tournaments if you don't have a work visa, because usually they're for prize money. So if you come from United Kingdom, you can get an ESTA visa waiver and get access to the United States for 60 to 90 days. If you obtain a visitor visa, that means you can usually come for up to 6 months at a time and compete for prize money only. So that means if you have sponsors or if you do other activities where you might get paid show money, which is having a lot more as poker players get more notoriety in sponsors and broadcasting and things of that nature, then it's inappropriate and unauthorized work to do those activities on the P-1. And then there's a practical reason to get a P-1 is because it's very quick to get to the United States on these visas. In certain countries, it takes over a year to get an appointment for a visitor visa. But in most places, you can obtain a P-1 or O-1 appointment within days or weeks, even in countries where there are those huge backlogs, just because they're in a higher echelon of category than those other visas. And so in this case, where we're talking about Aleksandr Gofman, he was so, I guess I would say, gung-ho about coming to the United States that he enrolled in college just so that he could live in Vegas, even though he probably didn't want to or need to go and take the classes, although education is important. We are able to help him because he heard of another friend that we did business with that he can switch over to the P-1. And so we just want to highlight his background to show how we were able to make sure that he is eligible for the P-1 visa as a poker player. Now, remember previously, the other thing to know about Russia for a long time, even before the conflict, the consulates in Russia have not been open for many years now. So most Russian nationals that live around the world have to go to other places to get visa stamps. In this case, he was in Dubai, where he got his F1 visa stamp to go attend college, and were able to switch his F1 to a P1 because of these numbers. For one, he has an excellent international ranking in the Global Poker Index, which is 1,651 and a national rank of 51. I would say this puts him well into the 1 percentile of poker players in the world, and he's probably a great candidate to get an EB-1A green card if he wishes to stay here permanently. In addition, you can see his highest award that he got was he won a $1 billion national tournament in Russia. Now, we're able to use that because that coverage of the win was available in media outlets from multiple countries. So say if you win $1 million tournament, but we can't find any coverage about it outside of that country, we might not be able to use that award for the P-1, because under P-1, it has to make you internationally recognized in more than one country. And we also can see that he has a great all-time money win of getting close to $3.5 billion. And he spends a lot of time in Vegas at these tournaments, but you're also able to go around the world and play other tournaments, like here in Cyprus and Russia. And then there's a lot of online tournaments where you can earn your way to the World Series of Poker. And he hasn't even compete. Well, he did. Looks like in 2003 he did, and he won 10,000, finishing 80th. But he was worried that he wasn't eligible for the P-1 because he didn't get a gold bracelet. And I'm like, you don't need that to be eligible for the P1. That might be something that's more appropriate for the EB1A or the O1 visa. But if you're just coming to compete on this and get sponsors and things of that nature, you're fully free to do that on a P1 visa and get them from 3 to 5 years at a time. So if you're a poker player, you know where to go to get your visa work so that you too can come to the United States, probably a lot of Vegas, and make some money. Hope you found this helpful, and we look forward to working with you.